the last 12 months, Ice Spice has been on a non-stop train of momentum and stardom. It's been over 371 days since her breakout smash hit Munch hit the world star YouTube. This is what's happened in her career in the last 12 months. Ice Spice has streamed over 1 billion times on Spotify alone, with some of her biggest songs being Munch and In Her Mood. She's collectively garnered over 400 million YouTube views across all her videos. She's also performed at multiple Rolling Loud festivals, as well as appeared at the BET Awards. She also became the face of Beyonce's clothing line, Ivy Park with Adidas. As well as this, she landed herself a Billboard #3 hit with Pink Panther's titled Boy's a Liar. This song now has over 500 million streams on YouTube. Not only this, but she also managed to drop a song with Taylor Swift called Karma, which she also performed with Taylor Swift. But not just a song with Taylor, she also has 2 songs now with Nicki Minaj and is being lucky enough to be mentored by Nicki, as well as having some light beef with Drake. But how does all this happen to an artist in 1 year? Before this, it would be virtually impossible to accomplish this much so quickly. So what makes Ice Spice different, and what is her secret? Before we get into the nitty-gritty factors of her blow-up, it's important to emphasize that none of this could have happened without Ice Spice. Her music, personality, and image are some of the most unique and warming things to happen in the music industry in the last 5 years. She is truly 101. So with that taken into consideration, let's bring it back to last year. Ice Spice is a rapper who's for sure caught the limelight, but you may not be familiar with the team that helped get her there. One of the main reasons why Ice Spice has been able to keep firing hit after hit is her unwavering and tight bond with her producer, Riot. While most rappers nowadays work with multiple producers, Ice Spice has developed and curated a reliable and catchy sound with just one producer. She isn't spending time chasing different producers trying to recreate a sound. Her and Riot have a formula that they have created because of the chemistry they have built. The two met in college and hit it off right away, but Riot wasn't just any well-crafted producer. He also happened to be the son of Hot 97's DJ Enough. DJ Enough has been at the forefront of Hot 97, still one of the greatest hip-hop radio stations, for the last 25 years, working with everyone from Notorious B.I.G. to Jay-Z. From an early age, Riot was exposed to the hip-hop culture, what it takes to make it in the industry. With this taken into account, from an early age, Riot had a great understanding and perspective that not many get. While this definitely give Ice Spice and Riot a further network, let's not kid ourselves. Just because you happen to be a son of a rap legend doesn't mean you're going to get a career. Time and time again, we've seen this with people in hip-hop. Ice Spice now had someone she trusted in her corner, both musically and experience-wise. Ice was upgraded to another level already, but who was going to be our manager? Enter the room, James Roseman Jr., but this wasn't any old music manager. When an artist blows up as quickly as Ice Spice, it's not just the music that brings them to the top. It's often the people in the background who are moving the pieces of the puzzle. James Roseman Jr. is a music manager from Brooklyn, New York. When he was just 20 years of age, he set up Royal Dream Music Group, an independent talent entertainment company. Fast forward 10 years and now he manages Ice Spice. But he also happens to be the son of the famous James Roseman, also known as Jimmy Henchman. Jimmy Henchman, aka James Roseman Sr., is an American entertainment record executive and convicted drug dealer. At one point, James Roseman Sr. was one of the most powerful people in hip-hop. He had a company called Zara Entertainment, which managed artists such as The Game and Sean Kingston. James Roseman Jr. was sure to only take positive business acumens from his father. He picked up buckets of knowledge from his father and also learned the mistakes he should avoid. When James Roseman Jr. came across Ice Spice a couple years before she would blow up with Munch, he became emotionally invested in her and also willing to invest in her financially. He would even bring her around to different label executives he knew to see if anyone was interested in helping build Ice Spice's career. This included the former president of Epic Records and Republic Records, Charlie Walk.
You're no different than like my favorite artist right now is Ice Spice.
Really?
Yeah, I just think she's dope, and I think so. My friend James Roseman Jr. manages her. He brought her to me a couple years ago. I wasn't in the mindset of doing it, but he was, and he wrote the check. And now she's the biggest cultural phenomenon of the last year.
With James believing in Ice Spice, compounded by his network, he knew if he could set that initial fire, then he could then add fuel to it. At the time, Ice Spice was working non-stop, learning her craft with Riot, and James was connecting the dots in the background. Ice Spice would begin to drop videos on her YouTube channel, which included No Clarity and Euphoric. James wasn't afraid to invest money into developing Ice Spice as an artist. In the words of the legendary music industry vet, Wendy Day, it takes at least $150,000 to break an artist.
$150,000 to break a rapper. That's not even pop or R&B. That's rap, which is cheaper to work.
With some momentum building, Ice Spice's team decided to get her more attention and work with the distribution team at Worldstar to premiere the song Munch on the Worldstar YouTube channel. Before the song would come to public eye, Jordan Dutton from Worldstar Distribution would bring Ice Spice's music to Rob Merkman, who was vice president of content strategy at Genius. When Munch did come out and eventually go gold, Rob made this post on his Instagram. In spring of 2022, Jordan Dutton from the Worldstar Distribution team put Ice Spice on my radar and wanted so bad to partner with her through Worldstar. He would go on and on about how dope of a producer Riot is and how he believed in what they were building was special. He sent me videos for Euphoric and No Clarity and then played me an unreleased Munch. He made me a believer. I saw it, signed off with it with our partners at Create Music. We signed a distribution deal with an artist that we were all excited to work with and work for. I watched our whole team at Worldstar come together, as well as the team at Genius, plus the team at Create. Create Music is an independent American music distribution and publishing company. You see, Worldstar, Genius, and Create Music were offering Ice Spice label-like services without her having to sign to a label. Now, while Ice Spice did have an incredible team around her, there was still no guarantee that Munch was going to take off. Well, it did take off, and it became lightning in a bottle. Parody-like and humorous lyrics over hard drill instrumentation caught wildfire. At first, some New York drill rappers were hating on the song, as it didn't have that classic narrative that a lot of drill songs have. Instead, it was fun, cheeky, and fresh. The song gained major popularity on TikTok. Females would sing the song with pride. Ice Spice also coined the phrase Munch. Riot also smashed the beat and would use his various pathways to spread the word about the song. James, her manager, utilized all of his experience in the industry, which he gained from his father and gained himself. This, along with the support of Genius, Worldstar, and Create Music, would help push the song. All cylinders were ready. The most critical part of all this ultimately comes back to the music and the artist. Ice Spice's music was modern and relevant, matching her shy and contagious personality. Munch got millions of streams on Spotify and millions of streams on YouTube. She also remained independent, meaning she retained ownership of her masters. Not many rappers are able to make a hit and follow it up. Let's take an example like CJ. CJ was a New York rapper who caught a hit back in 2020 called Whoopty. The song was released in August, caught fire, and now currently sits over 700 million streams on Spotify. Now, first off, shout out to CJ. To have a hit that big is very, very rare, and his life has completely changed, so all credit to him and he deserves the utmost respect. However, saying that, he wasn't able to follow up that song with another hit. You see, Whoopty came out in August of 2020, and CJ didn't drop another song until January of 2021 with Bop. If he had the right infrastructure and team around him, then he could have been able to spot the opportunity and strike while the iron was hot. Ice Spice, on the other hand, she's seen the opportunity. You see, Munch was a hit and did get millions of streams, but it was more of a cultural hit. It was in people's cars in New York City, it was on TikTok, it was around the world. People were talking about the song, they were talking about Ice Spice. People were doing their best impression of Ice Spice. You couldn't get away from the song.
Oh, you thought I was feeling you? That a Munch, cause I eat it, he eat it for lunch.
When Munch blowing up, even Drake was in her DMs and flew her out, but ended up unfollowing her on Instagram. This would create a little light beef that would bring more attention to Ice Spice. You see, Ice Spice handled it with grace and didn't make a big deal of it. This was vital. You see, she appeared unfazed, as to say, why wouldn't Drake be on my level? People were now mentioning her name in conversations alongside Drake, the biggest rapper in the world. You see, the world was now opening its arms to Ice Spice, and she knew she had an opportunity to take advantage of. Only 2 months after Munch, Ice Spice would drop Bikini Bottom. She could have easily let Munch breathe longer, but her team knew to act quickly. Remember, she had chemistry with her producer Riot. She didn't get some money and bounce. She didn't get some clout and then leave Riot. The song was very similar to Munch in terms of time, topic, and type of drill beat with a SpongeBob sample. It wasn't that Ice Spice and her team were rushing. They were just making all the correct chess moves to speed up her trajectory. Every interview and platform Ice Spice appeared on was planned. The more the public got to see her, the more they were falling in love with her. In her words, she was a baddie, but also incredibly humble and likable from the start. In October 2022, Ice Spice would land herself a record deal worth $3 million with 10K projects. Because of the leverage of success that Ice Spice had built, she was able to secure a good deal. 10K projects are famous for such artists as Trippie Redd, Ian Dior, and Internet Money, so they've dealt with stars time and time again. Signed to a label didn't take her from 0 to 100. It simply increased the speed of which Ice Spice was progressing. Sometimes when rappers get hot, they get egotistical and let the fame go to their head. But Ice Spice, she was different. She seen her opportunities. Her team allowed her room to be confident, but also keep her level-headed. When asked who inspires Ice Spice, she quickly mentioned Nicki Minaj. Ice Spice was now on Nicki's radar, and the two ended up doing a song called Princess Diana. Nicki also offered to help mentor Ice, providing industry advice and guidance. You see, there's a common pattern happening here. Because Ice Spice's music is so good, her personality is so likable, and her attitude is so perfect. These three aspects are so rare to find, and they're only usually found in superstars. You see, everything about Ice Spice's career has been chess moves. Ice went on to collaborate with Pink Panthers landing that #3 hit on Billboard, as well as popping up on Taylor Swift's song Karma. She also linked with Nicki Minaj again on Barbie World, also produced by Riot. The reason she keeps getting these amazing opportunities is because she consistently knocks them out the park. But we must remember that these opportunities come with pressure. It takes a special type of person to be able to deal with the constant scrutiny and attention of the entire world 24/7. icespice has relentless work ethic, something very few people can maintain, but so far Ice has. Ice is currently sitting on 40 million monthly listeners. The question is, can she sustain her current buzz? It would be nice to pull up some case studies of other artists to see similar trajectories, but the truth is, there hasn't been any. No artist in history has accomplished what icespice has in only 1 year. But they often say what goes up quick must come down quick. But will this be the case, or can icespice really capitalize on her meteoric rise? If you like this video or any of the other videos, be sure to subscribe.